I believe so. Is there anybody else who would like to share a story? Take us home.
All right, I've got time, so I've got 3 stories.
Come on, let's go.
Pipe down, Ruben. I love when Jim Henry does stuff. It's always creative. I like that about him. First, I'm going to tell you a true story that happened to me. Well, we'll see what you think. I'm an only child, and Christmas was a big deal in my house. My mother decorated the whole house, and my favorite thing, other than what Santa Claus would bring me, would to see what my parents bought me. So I would search through the house to see where the presents were. I looked in closets, in basements, you name it. I would not give up until I found where some of the presents were. One day I went to the basement, and all I wanted for that Christmas was a black, huffy dirt bike. Thick tires so you could make long skids in the neighbor's driveway. Totally black, great big handlebars, little license plate in the back, great cushioned black seat. So all I wanted was a black, huffy dirt bike. Come around the corner in the basement, and there it is. Black, huffy dirt bike. So I got on it, and I rode it in the basement. Just a little, and see how, how it fit, if it was the right, the seat was at the right height. And I carefully put it back where my parents had it. And I would do that every day. I would go down, ride the bike a little around in the basement. You didn't know I was so devious, did you? So I'd ride the bike in the basement and put it back. I didn't want to wear out the tires too much. One time I did make a skid mark. You've never seen me clean so fast and so hard. My life, I scrubbed the basement floor to get rid of the skid mark. So, as friends do, when you're growing up and you're young, you talk about what you want for Christmas. My friends would say what they wanted for Christmas. And then one particular friend, Paul, his name was Paul also, Paul Silva, had not much. He lived with his mom, she was blind, and so he wasn't expecting much for Christmas. And probably around 2 weeks before Christmas, the apartment, the home where he lived on the 2nd floor, caught on fire. So they lost everything that they had, which wasn't much. And so they got their belongings, and some people helped, and they found another apartment. So it looked like Christmas was going to be bleak for him that year. And like I said, people try to help with clothes and things like that. So Christmas came along, and I was all excited, and the morning came, and I was trying to wake my parents up. They didn't want to get up at 4:30 in the morning. I didn't know what was the problem. I know, lazy. So anyways, I'm an only child, come on. So they finally got them up, and I ran downstairs and came around the corner, and there's these presents on one side, and I was like, all right. I came around the end of the corner, and there's some more presents. But there was no black huffy dirt bike. I said, is there anything else?
Is this all?
Yeah. I said it in Portuguese, though, which is much more sarcastic. So, yeah. But anyway, so I thought, well, maybe they'll bring it out, or maybe it's somewhere else, And they were like, no, yeah, this is what Santa brought, and these are for Mom and Dad. And I'm like, huh. And obviously I couldn't say, where's my black huffy dirt bike with the special license plate, right? That was in the basement that I rode for the last 10 days. I couldn't say anything. So I thought, well, that's strange. When my mother was preparing for Christmas dinner, I went downstairs into the basement, looked around, no black huffy bike. Couldn't figure it out. I said, where'd the huffy bike go? A couple days later, my mother would bake all these things, and we would take them to friends and to family and to neighbors and visit other people like you do. And we went to visit Paul and his mother. And wouldn't you know, he got a black, Huffy dirt bike. You know, I thought, And I memorized the license plate, by the way. He's riding around, and he's excited, and I'm excited for him, and I'm looking, and it's the same license plate. Now you might say, well, they made them all different on purpose, and each one had a different license plate. Well, as you know, my birthday is December 30th. So, birthday came, woke up, and there was this black, Huffy dirt bike. Different license plate. Apparently, my father took the black Huffy dirt bike, the original one, and gave it to Paul, because Paul wasn't going to have a very good Christmas. And that's where I first learned the real meaning, or one of the meanings, of Christmas, thanks to my father. I just figured it out, by the way, and I didn't really talk to him about it until later on. A good 5, 6, 7 years probably. That it was my dad who took the black Huffy bike, you know. And just so you know, when they do come visit, I never told them that I rode the bike around in the basement, all right? So for God's sake, don't tell them that. Just tell him he's a generous man, but that his son's not devious. All right.